How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Day Dave, and this is a map tour for a new mod map to Farming Simulator 22 called Wisnice. We're going to start with the description from the mod hub, and it reads, I present to you the fictional map of Wisnice. The map has 1 farm, cows, 204 fields, DLC precision farming ready, buying animals, several different sales stations, traffic of vehicles, pedestrian traffic, machine shop, gas station, dairy, forest areas, mill, new textures, toys to find, place to build your farm, varied terrain, biogas plant. You will find more yourself. I wish you a long game. There are required mods for this map, and starting with the Old Grain Mills by Bartson V3, Small Garage by Prejmek 23433, Farmhouses by Bartson V3, Modular Wooden Shed by Bartson V3, and New Cowshed for Cows by Bartson V3. This map was created by Bartson V3 and is 215.18 megabytes to download. Now, take a look at the map. This is what it looks like. And you start out up here on your starting farm, up in the northwestish corner. Now, before I go any further, I want to thank one of my watchers for a suggestion. Farming Fan, thank you so much. They made a suggestion as to how, when I present the starting farmlands, to also describe the starting products that are in those, or potential starting products that may lie within those farmlands, as well as if there is a product available, what stage of growth it is in, just that little extra level of detail for those that are interested. So, we start out with farmlands number 78 and 88, and farmland number 78 consists of your starting farm as well as a field which contains oats that are ready to harvest, and 88 contains a field with barley that is also ready to harvest. If we take a look at the field prices going around, you can see there's a wide range. So starting up here in the north, you have very cheap starting fields, very small but very cheap. Going all the way down to kind of a middle of the road, you got 74,000, 116, all the way down to, I believe, 555,000 down here. You got 346,000, 324. So you got a pretty good range of different farms, farm sizes, and farmlands. So very nice. Let's see, starting animals, you do have a cowshed, as you can see, the new cowshed for cows. Contracts are available on this map, no starting production chains, and there are collectibles, 100 of them, and they are the toys, the wooden toys from Elm Creek. And if we take a look for mods specific to this map, there's nothing here under the buy menu, but under the build menu, we do have, starting under the buildings tab and silos, scroll all the way to the right, you can see there, Wisnice, the Silo 36T. Nothing under the rest, so no sheds, no silo extensions, containers, tools, or farmhouses. Under production, there's nothing under any of these tabs, nothing under animals. Now you will see that there are other mods, but those are the required mods, so you can see down there at the bottom right, new cowshed for cows, that's a required mod and not an actual mod specific to this map. Under decorations, there's nothing there, and under landscaping, the only thing we have are additional painting swatches, which we get quite a few actually, which is nice. So we do start here at the starting farm, so let's take a look at our starting equipment. There we go. Small tractors, we have a Massey Ferguson 5S105 and a 3707 AL. Under harvesters, we have the Rosselmash Nova 330, trailers, the Welger DK115, the header for the Rosselmash. Under plows, you have the Pottinger Servo 25, cultivators, the Raby EG39, and planters, the Agromaz Falcon 3. So, small starting farm, small starting equipment, not too shabby, but it is what it is. So you got a sleep trigger right here. Go there. You have your starting cow barn right here. And to activate the cow trigger, the animal trigger, is right here. You can have room for 24 cows. And there's just various rooms in this whole thing. You got, let's see, Around the corner here, you do have the, I believe this is the milk trigger right here. Yes, milk trigger is right here. Around this side, we'll skip the silo for just a second. You have your, I believe this is your slurry point right here. And then over here is your feed trigger. Actually, you know what? This might be your straw point too, right here. So this might be straw and slurry. So I don't see a trigger that would indicate just slurry by itself. So that's going to be my best guess. Is this is straw and slurry? Or this might be straw too. No, I think this might be straw and feed. This is slurry. Yeah, that makes sense, because that's an output right here. So that's got to be slurry. This is the input for feed and straw. Okay. Now that I've got that all worked out, silo is right here. And you do have a couple little cool triggers. So if you approach this area here, you can put away the input for the silo, and then output can be put away over here. So now you got kind of a wide open yard, able to get through. And that's pretty much it. Starting here, let's choose this door. Bunch of your starting equipment is tucked away in this shed here. As you can see, a little bit of room to expand, but not a ton. It's definitely a very small starting farm, so you're gonna have to, you know, work out a way to expand. Oh dear. Okay, so heading in this direction. One thing I've noticed is you can see just how narrow this road is. All the traffic that I've found so far flows in the direction that I'm going in right now. So on our way back, I don't know if this is a one-way road. I did not notice any signage that says or indicates it'd be one way, but it's, yeah, you can see just how fast traffic goes on this road. So it makes heading back just a little bit treacherous. There we go. Words are hard. This is your dairy production. You can purchase that for $70,000, and your input is right here and output right there. Now we'll come over here. Now again, you can see just how wide my tractor is compared to the road, and the cars ride right in the middle of it. But again, I didn't see a one-way sign anywhere that would tell me that, hey, I'm going the wrong direction. So, you just got to pay attention to traffic coming in this direction, and then just move off to the side when they come. Thankfully, there's, you know, pretty good runoff on either side, so you can kind of avoid traffic pretty easily. Yeah, see, now we got cars coming, I wouldn't say they're right in the middle, but pretty darn close. So we're just gonna head through this little area right here. Head off here. Okay, here we're gonna pull off. Now here to my left, this is the purchase for fresh vegetable sell point. Off to my right is the purchase Green Valley sell point, and this is the Dairy Milk Springs sell point. So 3 different sell points all in this little area right here. Continuing down the road. Now pulling off over here. We have a production point. We'll hop out. This is the old grain mill, and you can purchase this for $23,000, and we'll go ahead and get this. And as you can see, check out all this extra stuff that you can do with this particular production point. So it does your normal grain mill stuff. So you got your wheat flour, barley flour, oat flour, sorghum. All that's great. But then you can do oils here as well. So sunflower, canola, and olive. But then, check it out, you can also make pig food here. This is very nice. So you got 3 different recipes that you can work off of for your pig food if you so choose. That's a very nice little mod right there. And you've got your output here and your input over here. And if you open the door, you can dump into it. And I missed something. What is this? Oh, and then an out pipe for loose product as well. Forgot about that. Oh, we're right now. I tell you what, traffic really moves pretty quick on this map. Again, this looks like it would be a one-way road just because of how narrow it is, but I didn't see anything when pulling onto it that would indicate this is a one-directional road. So if you're driving on these roads, be very careful, be cautious, because it's going to get pretty tight. But like I mentioned before, you've got, you know, shoulders that you can run off on if you need to. So we're just going to continue down the road here. Okay, and we'll stop right here. Over here is the purchase of golden grain sell point. What was that little sign right there, just real quick? Oh, looks like they sell propane bottles too. That's cool. So continuing down. Now up here, we're going to want to pull off and make a left. And then right here, come to a stop. Right here, we have the purchase Wisnice sell point. Wisnice. Over here, we have the barn sell point. Here we're going to turn around. Head back in the direction we were going. Whoa, traffic. If you veer off the road even a little bit, traffic comes rushing right up behind you. It's pretty crazy sometimes. Like you saw that van just come racing up, and I was only just a little ways off center. So from here, we're gonna make a right. And right here, we have a gas station. Now I need to turn around and head in this direction. And pull in here. And we're going to leave the tractor here for a second. So here you have your bakery, and for 50,000 you can purchase that. And your input and output are right in the back there. Over here is the animal dealer. See the cows sitting there. If you have a pen or pasture already installed on your map, which this one does, you can go ahead and come to this location and you can purchase your animals directly. You can also purchase them from the pen and pasture that you have installed. By doing this, though, you do incur a delivery fee. So if you check it out, you see we have cows here. We do have a cow barn there at the starting farm, and cows can be up to $100 per cow. That gets pretty expensive the more cows you have. So 24 cows plus $100 per cow. That fee is associated to a delivering fee. So coming to here and having them deliver the cows for you, or having your trigger at the farm and having or using the trigger at the farm will also incur that fee. It's just that simulation of delivery. But you can save on that delivery fee by either purchasing or leasing an animal trailer, bringing it to this location and loading directly into the trailer and delivering the animals to the pens and pastures yourself. So that'll save you that money doing it that way. And the more animals you have, the better the savings will be. Whoops, and I'm running away from the shop trigger. And then next to it, we open this, is a repair trigger. Whoa. Let me out. I'll come back out to the tractor. Now head down the road just a little ways. Oh, wait. I meant to turn there. When we get to the next point of interest, I'll go ahead and stop and show where we've been and what we've seen up until this point. So we're just heading down the hill here. And then on the other side of this field to my left, we're going to make a left. Turn. Now I think this is a cool little feature coming up here. Let's see it on our right. This is our lime stations where we can go and purchase lime. And it's just, I think that's really cool. It's just kind of built into the side of the ledge there, the ridge, and just a cool little point to purchase lime as opposed to like just a little silo. Very, very cool. Thought that was a cool little detail. Coming up over the ridge here, through the woods. Starting with the point of interest to my right is the carpentry, and for 60,000 you can purchase that. Your input is right here with the wood cell trigger, and output back here. Over here is the farmer's market sell point right there, and a debris crusher sell point right there. Head out to the main road here. Wait a minute, I didn't show where we've been and what we've seen. But you know what? We've got 2 more areas and I'll just go through the entire map. Said I was going to show it, but then just kind of spaced out for a second. So heading to the main road, right next door is the biogas plant. A couple big bunker silos right here. And to activate the biogas plant, you got to go to your map, which, I mean, you know what? I'll go ahead and show where we've been, what we've seen up to this point, because I got to show it anyways. So we started here at the starting farm. We took a look at the sleep trigger, cow barn, and silo. We then came out down to the west portion of the map here where we saw the dairy. Came back up and around off this kind of dirt path here where we saw the couple of sell points, the purchase of fresh vegetables, purchased Green Valley and Dairy Milk Springs. Continued down, connected to the main road, went up to the north where we saw the old grain mill. Came up to the north a little ways, down this side road, all the way out to here, which is the purchase of Golden Grain. Continued around, we saw the purchase Wisnice as well as the barn sell points. Came all the way out here up to the gas station and then down to the bakery, animal dealer, shop trigger, and repair trigger. We then pulled back out of the shop, down and around all the way down here to where we saw the lime station, up to the north where we saw the carpentry, the farmer's market, and the debris crusher. Continued north out to the main road, and now we are here. Now, to activate the biogas plant, you have to purchase farmland number 168 for $77,448. You do that, all the triggers will pop up. And actually, let me borrow just a little bit of money just so we can show the triggers for the biogas plant. There. So, now we have the biogas plant. You got your kind of info trigger right here. It takes all the standard crops. Solid input here, liquid input there, and liquid output, aka or digestate, there. And now we're just going to turn around. And head down here. Just because I think it's a lovelier drive. Drive right next to this little lake right here. And just continue by the fields. And then up here, we're going to want to make a left. Just continuing to follow this 2-track around. And up here, we're going to want to make a right. And our last set of interests, which are right down here. Okay, here we're going to make a right. And to my right, you have the sawmill. Now I'm going to show all the triggers first. You have your sell point right here where I'm standing with the wood sell trigger here. Your productions are right there. Your wood chip output is right there. And over here is the actual trigger, the actual info trigger. And you can purchase this for $100,000. Right beside it is the container trader. So that I believe this is the for the Platinum Edition DLC, the tree containers that we had for that, a sell point for it. And then lastly, this is the Purchase Agroplan sell point. And that is it. Let's take a look at the map just one last time and catch up to where we are on the map. So we were here at the biogas plant. We came up down this long path over to the main road again, and then came over here, saw the the sawmill, container trader, and Purchase Agroplan. And that is it. That is Wisnice. Now it's time to render my opinion. What do I think of this map? 0 to 5 scale as always, and I love this map. I really like it. Normally I would see a map with this many fields, this much going on in the ways of fields, and I would normally kind of recoil at the thought of a map like this. This one is different though. Now there are times, like you can see off the left, where it has that kind of cartoony vibe. Is coming up here on the right too. All the wildflowers, all the colors that are out, just kind of, I don't know, just doesn't make it seem real, like real immersive almost. It's just too bright and too colorful. I don't know, it's one of those things that just doesn't seem realistic to me. And that's just based on my experiences and what I've seen in life. I don't often see, like, I'll see wildflowers, you know, driving out in the country. That's not uncommon, but to see this many colors, that much kind of variation, that's what I'm claiming is to be unusual and kind of off-putting. But other than that, this map is gorgeous. There's so many undulations. The sight lines are never like clear. What I mean by that is, you take a look right here. The road just naturally curves and shifts around. You've got hills and terrain changes. You've got trees all over the place. It's just, there's so much happening that just makes you really kind of get immersed into the map. And that's kind of what helps break up that kind of color palette that's on this map, because there's so much color. The trees, the hills, you're not inundated and overwhelmed with too much color, too much of one thing at any given time. So that really helps to kind of take away from that color palette issue that I mentioned earlier, but really kind of just steps up the whole vibe of the map. And there's just enough going on the map to really kind of make it interesting. There's plenty of selling points. There's not really much in the ways of productions, but the productions that are here are a good enough base to kind of draw you into the map, kind of thing. So it's just one of those that overall, this is a very, very solid map. I really like it. The water features that are around, you can see here to my left, they just kind of, everything just looks natural and kind of in place. And what I mean by that is, it just doesn't seem like things are plunked around everywhere. I know that anybody who follows my channel for a given amount of time, you know, will, whoa, that was a little rough. Again, traffic goes really quick on this map, and it's not forgiving, as you just saw. But I mean, look at this little two-track trail that I'm going down. Like, there's so much shift in terrain just on this one little trail by itself. And then you look down at the fields, and again, they're not flat, they're not, but they're not overwhelming in the hills and the undulation either. They're very, I don't want to say subtle, but they're very forgiving, I guess would probably be the best way I could say it. Because when you get maps that have a fair bit of undulation like this one does, you have to be very much conscious of your choices for equipment. You can't have small equipment with no horsepower, because you got to be able to make up the hill to do various tasks. But you can't do huge equipment on this map either, because there are narrow roads, there's tons of traffic that are going around. So you have some difficult decisions to make as to how you want to build up your farm, how you want to handle the various fields. And with there being so many fields, that you do have a lot of options and a lot of choice. Here, you know, let's go this way. So it's just, there's just so much going on this map. Like this little feature right here, this little kind of low area here, that looks like there's supposed to be like a river going all the way through it, but either the river is kind of at low tide at the moment, or not low tide, but like the river is just low, and so it's just cleared this little two-track path, almost like what used to be a fjord or something like that, kind of a crossing in the river. Just little things like that, little details like that go such a long ways. And you come up here to the north and you see just even these little fields way up here in the north, the little cheap introductory fields, they still have, a fair bit of undulation in them. But again, even with the smaller equipment, it's not enough undulation where you're not going to be able to handle, working in them, kind of thing. Plenty of forestry on this map to be able to expand certain fields, like the one to my left there. You've got that big forest right in the center of the field, so you can knock all those trees down and then expand that field to encompass all the trees that were in there. Just such a gorgeous, gorgeous map. And you take a look at the kind of border around the map, because this map isn't like the full 2x by 2x, or actually, no, it actually might, no, it's not, because you do have this kind of tree border that's around it. So it is a full 2x by 2x, but there's that kind of natural tree border around the whole map that kind of allows you to have that nice edge work without there being the kind of, again, cartoony outer picture that's available on most maps. Anyways, long story short, I love this map. I think this is a great map. The map maker, Bartson V3, did a fantastic job, and I would give this a very strong 4.5. Again, the only reason I'd even dock it a little bit is because of the wide variety of colors from the wildflowers and all that kind of just takes it away from it just ever so slightly. But all the beautiful sight lines and natural beauty that's on the map really kind of helps redeem that loss. So yeah, 4.5, solid map. Give it a look for yourself, see what you think, and go from there. But I hope you enjoyed this map tour. Whoa, think thin, bob and weave. Oh dear, too much bobbing and weaving. Whew. Okay, well, let's get off that road. I hope you enjoyed this map tour. If you did, please show me by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, commenting, doing all the things the algorithms enjoy you doing. That shows you're engaged with this channel and enjoying the content. And that being said, I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care.